Hi guys, this is a BSA RISQUARD Huntsman. This is a 3v3 on Galician rear. We're fighting against Hmg versus Tfm, Huntsman versus Tfm. On my team in the centre, playing as Britain, is Brodo Swaggins, which is actually Red Skipper, and down on the far left is BSA SK Marsh Hmg. Right, so basically, yeah, I'm going to be. There's a massive fight for the hill on this, and it is excellently, really good battle. And the thing that I'm liking about this, about Napoleon again, because I haven't been playing as much as I used to, but I am starting. The past week or so, I've been playing a lot more and getting back into Napoleon. Getting back into Napoleon again. Because there's a lot of good players around again now. I mean, some of the old good players are beginning to show their faces on Napoleon again. So I'm guessing people are just beginning to get fed up with Shogun 2 or Fall of the Samurai. Don't get me wrong, I like Fall of the Samurai. It's a good game, but it's not great. Napoleon is probably, in my opinion, is the best Total War game for several reasons. Mainly, it doesn't have that stupid avatar system, which completely unbalances the game. Personally, I think that was a ridiculous introduction to the Total War series. It makes the game so unbalanced, especially for new players who join the game, who start playing the game late. But yeah, down on the left on our opponent's team is TFM KB Killer, I believe his name is. In the centre as Prussia is TFM Flores, and on the right is TFM The Tool, who I'm facing. So basically how I'm going to start this off, Skip has sent me some cavalry as well to help me take the hill. I'm going to start charging my 7th Regiment Lancer straight up into the tree, up into the hill, and I'm going to go into attack these cavalry. Yeah. Oh, sorry, hang on, I've got to do something quickly. That's why we've got no sound. Resume. There we go. Right, yes, and I'm going to will move these cavalry in a minute. Charging. I've got my old 3 old guard going into the woods here with 2 chasseurs. The rest of my army is going to be going up and lining up across the front of the main part of the hill. He's recharged his cavalry into my chasseur cheval. So I'm going to charge that cavalry unit in the back. Told Skipper to charge his cavalry straight into their line infantry. So I need a bit more time to get up on the hill. A lot of cavalry engagement right there, so he's gonna charge some cavalry at me as well, try and slow me down. I think my old guard and that are beginning to get into position. He sends cavalry at my old guard and stuff, so I'm going to form square on my 2 left old guard. I'm going to move this one round, my other old guard round to the flank here, as you can see.
Our men are running, sir!
I missed so many squares in this game. I was so disappointed with myself, but there was so much going on, it was kind of hard to keep up with it all. But this is building up to a big light infantry battle. Skipper's beginning to engage with Prussia, with Flores in the centre. Marsh has had quite a long way to run as the Ottoman player moved over to reinforce this area on the flank of Flores. So there's a big fight going on here now. There's going to be Ottoman cavalry, as you can see, coming in here, coming to attack me on the hill. Plus, I think there's going to be the Prussian cavalry from Flores as well. I think that's already been used up on the hill. This might be his here. He's got more line units coming in to reinforce the tool on the up on the hill as well. So I mean, at the moment it's pretty much only me on the hill, apart from the support, the cavalry support. So I'm taking on quite a lot of different bits of all three's army up on the hill at the moment. But I am managing to do a lot of killing, so that's
Our
good.
men are running, sir!
Managed to get a bit of a sneaky one with his cavalry here, so he's got a charge coming onto my general, which is a bit of a git really. I did have a chasse de cheval, which I had hidden at the back of in these trees, which I've pulled out now. So we'll try and get that Brandenburg Uhlans routed. Brandenburg Uhlans. That's how you pronounce it, I'm not sure. So our guard are firing away in the trees.
Our men are running, sir!
Obviously, because we're in the trees, it's going to be a bit less accurate. I missed another square here. Look, bloody charge, more cav, loads of cav. Right, my left is really starting to suffer now, and plus I'm getting shot at from the flank and from behind my men from Flores with his units here. Realised I've got to get my cavalry up onto the hill and get them into get a charge in. Otherwise they're going to destroy my with all the extra units coming in from Flores as well, plus the cavalry and everything. Oh, they're going to kill my line.
Sir, your general has been killed. This is a black day.
That was bad for me as well. Yeah, so I lost my general, which was a bit of a git. But killing off the Ottoman cavalry slowly as well. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's killing a lot of my line and that, and doing me a lot of damage, but I'm also doing a lot of damage to the tool as well. But it's getting to a point where I needed to ask
Our men are running, sir!
if we're going to hold this hill, then Red Skipper needed to reinforce me as soon as possible. I've got no, I'm quite confident about winning this flank. I'm not worried about that. Look at all the dead bodies, loads, they're everywhere. Marsh is attacking into the Ottoman lights, which are in the trees there, but he is at a bit of a disadvantage, even though he does have Britain and he has, and KB Killer does have Ottoman lights. They do have chevron on, and they are in the trees, so they are going to have an advantage over these Brit lights. Probably quite wisely, actually, Skipper's pulled back out of the light fight with the Prussians there. There is a foot guard on that hill near Falls.
One of our units has used all its ammunition, sir.
And that's another problem for me. I'm going to start running out of ammunition pretty quickly. my 80th regiment. I better pull that back, otherwise it was going to get destroyed. I'm starting to gain an upper hand over on the right.
One of our units has used all its ammunition, sir.
But I am running out of ammunition at the same time, obviously firing the trees. Not going to hit as much. I didn't want to give up on pushing for this hill just yet. So Skipper's moved some more men over to help reinforce because the plan was at this stage, see, he's sending another line of infantry up onto the hill. He's going to end up sending these 2 foot guards over. The musketeer unit, I'm not really fussed about that. I've sent my old guard into melee over here. They'll easily deal with these guys in melee, very easily. The kind of plan was for Skip to continue pushing on the hill and keep the fight going, and then I'll send my old guard and everything I've got over here, because it's basically out of ammunition, into these units here. And my old guard in melee, even though there's a foot guard there, the 8th Life, well no, it's an 8th Life regiment, still an elite unit, it will, they would rout these. I mean, our old guard are actually beasts in melee. They can go through about, one unit will go through about, I mean the musketeer unit, it could go through 2, 3 at a push, musketeers in melee. I've done that many times, and on this map as well. More and more dead bodies building up on this hill.
One of our units has used all its ammunition, sir.
They are pretty strong in this area, so Skipper has got his work cut out. Gonna lose, just lost the general. In the end, we do decide to basically just pull back away from the hill and give it up, because Flores keeps reinforcing, especially with these 2 foot guards coming up onto the hill. There's no point in continuing. If we continue to fight there, we were just going to lose all of these men, and that's really what we don't need. I'm going to send my light infantry into go melee on these foot guards, and then rush my old guard out to go melee on the foot guard as well, on the 8th Life regiment, sorry.
Our men are running, sir!
To get that routed, but then I ended up with these foot guards coming into, 2 full foot guards coming in to reinforce, realising that was probably a bad idea. So I keep one of my old guard going into melee, and I pull the other 2 away. Send one of my old guards into melee with this musketeer and get rid of that, and get my other old guard off the hill.
Our men are running, sir!
I'll recharge that old guard into this foot guard, into the 8th Life regiment, and keep calling it a foot guard. But they won't last long, they're going to get shot at.
Our men are running, sir!
So was that unit routed? I think I did go melee against this light infantry, but decided to pull away and not bother continuing that. Right, down here on the left, as I was saying before, Marsh would, even though he had the Brit lights, he was at a disadvantage. Obviously he's firing at these Ottoman light infantry in the trees. You can see they're still pretty healthy. Marsh has lost, I think, 3 of his light infantry because of that fight. So at this point we're not really in a position too much, especially on the right, to push out and attack too much. So the best option is to pull back and maybe pick off and try and get some skipper, move up with his lights, try and damage some the Prussians in the centre there a little, and for Marsh to pull back and just pick off what he can when he can. Try and weaken them a little bit more before we can. I mean, this is the only area we can really push out and attack again. So got really no other option but to pull back on this end, especially with these two full foot guards up at the back, and there is another foot guard somewhere as well. Yeah, and they're pretty healthy. That 8th Life Regiment can call in a foot guard. So for the time being, I'll come back in a bit because it's pretty much just light on light at the moment. I mean, Skip's got the advantage here. He's in the trees. The Prussian lights are out in the open. I think they feel a bit more comfortable about pushing out an attack against us because they think they got us on the ropes now. So probably thinking that they had the game at this point. This is the thing. I mean, this is another reason why I like Napoleon so much better, because if this was Shogun 2, right, and what had happened over here, right, that would probably spark the end of the game. There wouldn't be really any chance of coming back from that. But the thing about Napoleon is, even though we've taken all them losses, and basically all I've got is one old guard left. I think out of the tool, this is all Flores units, as you can see, stretched out up here. I think out of these units here, and the general is basically the tool who I was facing. This is all of his units. That's all he has left. This is all Flores. So all I've got left is my old guard. But my old guard's it's pretty healthy. It's not too bad. 75 men. You get that old guard into melee, that'll do a lot of damage. Plus you have the fear from it as well. So. But yeah, but when the game picks up again, because it's just light on light at the moment. Oh no, it is picking up again. Do apologise. Right, yeah. So I think they thought they had us on the ropes,
sir, and must rest a while.
So they pushed out, and they're pushing out an attack. They're going to send their Samets. Going to start coming in now as well. I think light infantry might be out of ammo. We're going to be, but because of this area, I mean, because these guys aren't really pushing. If they pushed out to here, it would be a bit more difficult for Marsh, or especially if they had a unit of infantry in the house. It would be a bit more difficult for Marsh to push down on the flank here. But because Marsh is able to get into this position here, it's going to cause a lot of problems for the Ottomans. And don't get me wrong, I mean, like even Flores, he's sustained a lot of damage to his army as well. I mean, they've burnt up all their cavalry on me. So because they kept feeding units to the hill, it's weakened them elsewhere on the battlefield. So it's made it, in that kind of sense, it's made it a bit easier for Marsh and Skipper. And because it was me that took the main bulk of the losses on the hill, even though Skipper's reinforced, he still has enough units to hold this area while the attack and counter-attack in this area can take place. Right, so there's a heck of a lot of fighting going on. Marsh can push up into this area very strongly and probably quite comfortably take on these Ottoman infantry. I mean, Ottoman line infantry isn't too bad, to be fair, but when you're faced up against Britain, and especially with the numbers that Marsh has in this area, they're probably not going to do too well. But I mean, we've got Coldstream Guard here as well. I've brought my old guard down to this end to wave it around by not put it into attack, but just to wave it around, keep it nearby, so you've got the fear coming from my old guard, and it'll help route these units a bit quicker. So Prussia's coming off the hill. We're going to push out an attack down in this area. It won't be long before Marsh will break these Ottoman units. Just got to deal with that Semet Janissary. I mean, it's all very well having the Semats going in and sending them in to attack these units here, but they really needed a lot more firepower to have any real effect against Marsh's line infantry, because there's so much line here. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 line, and he pushes up with 2 and a Semat. You know, it's not going to really do that much. They're not going to be able to do the kind of damage that they need to do to Marsh to be able to do that, but the Ottomans don't really have that much, don't really have enough infantry to be able to do that anymore. So the Ottoman player, basically, he's on the ropes. He's going to be sort of finished, really.
Infantry, elite.
Right, I'll come back for the final stage of the battle in a little while, and I'll see you. Right, so here's basically the last of the Ottoman infantry. Ottomans basically finished now. Not going to be long, and plus Marsh killed their general. Killed the Ottoman general, and the Ottomans really hate losing their general. Once that happens, it's pretty much over for you. Have to look after your general if you're Ottomans, but even with the general, I don't think they would have. There's no way they could have taken on this anyway. Right, so Prussia basically have got much choice but to pull back to the hill. He does continue the attack down on the flank, trying to rout these units. He has got a foot guard there, but again, he's got a foot guard here as well, so there's not really much chance of him breaking this flank, to be fair. The wisest thing to do would have been to pull everything they had back up to the hill and try and make a last stand. I can't imagine that there'll be too much ammo left in these Brit lights. And Marshy, I don't think he's got any lights left either. So, yeah. I'll fast forward it for now because it's coming up to the final stages of the battle. Yeah, he's about to lose his general. I don't think he kills him, but he routs. Right, so Marsh is going to push up into this area of the trees and start his attack. Again, Prussia does have a bit of an advantage here because they are in the trees, but they are quite... With the amount of numbers they have, we can, well, the amount of numbers that we have, we can hit them on all sides really. So there's not really much of a defence now that they can put up on the hill. foot guard's going to sustain a lot of losses very quickly.
A glorious victory, sir, is soon to be yours.
Charges his old guard. He charged my old guard there. Sorry, I cut off for a second. Charged my old guard there with his general, but routed that foot guard. About to rout the last foot guard. I'd like to say good game to TFM. It was a really good battle, especially at the start. It was really great fun to play that. And I loved the way that they came out and attacked and didn't hang back, didn't camp a lot. I mean, like this. I really do like players that don't do that. I hate campers. Really do my brain in. But yeah, so good game to TFM. It was really good fun playing you guys. It was an excellent game. Thank you for watching, and please rate, comment and subscribe. If you liked the video, then hit the like button. If you don't like the video, please state why you don't like it, rather than just going dislike. And then it gives me a bit of understanding of how to improve on my videos as well, if you point out what you don't like. But yeah, so thank you for watching. Please rate, comment and subscribe, as I already said. And yeah, see you next time, guys. Thanks for watching.